Hello, my name is Chris here with Be Whipped. Today I'm going to be showing you a little recipe that we like to use here in our breeding program. It's called our Pregnancy Powerballs. We also have a substitute version of that, which is also our Pregnancy Power Brownies. Now, for those of you that want to give your females an extra kick to her milk, this is a wonderful recipe that will allow her to be able to do so. And for those of you that just want to give, just your regular dogs a treat, this is going to be perfect too, because you can omit some of those ingredients and just give it to your males or any one of your family members at home. So you can see I already have a pair of gloves on. I always do this because it expedites the cleaning process. So if you have gloves on, slip those on. And we're going to dive right into the cooking process because this should take us about 30 to 45 minutes from beginning to end. So first things first, it's important, your oven, you're going to want to set that to 350 degrees. Get that going so it has about 10 to 15 minutes to come to the correct temperature. You don't want to throw your meal into the oven before the temperature is correct. So I use some ingredients that you can get at any one of your local stores. First things first is our pound of ground chicken. And the measurements I'll go over here, but of course you'll start off with a pound. Let me get a pair of scissors really quick. We're going to take this pound of ground chicken, and here I'm using first my KitchenAid mixer. And you can use any standard mixer that you have, but I just love KitchenAid because they make a wonderful product and it just makes it so much more easy. You'll take that ground chicken and you'll just go ahead and place that directly into your bowl, okay? Now that we have the ground chicken, we're going to work on our breading. So think of this more so like a meatloaf, and you have to have your bread right to hold that meatloaf together, and that's what we'll be doing here. In order to do that, I'm going to be using my Ninja food processor, lovely, and I'm going to be using my bread, which will actually be my dog food. Now, the bread that I use comes from Munster. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely local company here in Texas. They make superb, absolutely wonderful dog food. If you want to use the dog food that I use, I will include a 35% off coupon on your first purchase, and I will have that included so you can have access. So what you do is you'll just go ahead and fill your Ninja blender up, get it close to the top here, and you don't want to overfill it. It's super important. We'll get it kind of high. And this doesn't take any specific measuring because right now we're just working on the breading, so don't worry about that at all, okay? So when we get it up to about this height, we'll set this off to the side. And let me show you a couple of the ingredients that I'm going to be using that's going to go into this blend. All right, so at any one of your Tractor Supply, well, I get this from Tractor Supply, excuse me, but any one of your farming stores that are local, you can get this. It's really imperative, however, make sure it's safe for dogs. Do not get any milk that's not safe for dogs. You don't want to use that. So we'll be using this. As well, to give our extra punch for our pregnant females, we're going to be using our protein today. Again, make sure it's organic, it's clean. You don't want to have any filler ingredients in there. Last, I'll be using oil to give that natural shine and luster to those coats for those females as well. We'll be putting this in here. Now, I showed those to you, but of course for me, I like to move kind of quick because we're in a time crunch. I blend everything together already, so it's already been placed together here. And I'm going to show you, I just take 3 scoops and I place this right with that dog food. Boom. Just that simple. If it's already pre-mixed, you've already saved yourself about 15 minutes on your cooking time. We'll close this right on up. Place this right on the Ninja. Close it. Push power. And this will take about 20 seconds. It'll be a little loud, but 20 seconds. And you're going to go in your frozen drink mixture and just go ahead and hit your button and puree it down. After that, we can just go ahead and stop it because we are at our perfect breading mixture here. Pop that right on off, pull this blender out, tap it right to the side. And if we take a look in here, we have our perfect blend for our breading. Now, for 1 pound of meat, we have 3 cups of breading. So take a 1 cup here. We do 1, right? 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups of our breading. We'll set that right to the side just in case we have to add a little extra. You may not need to. Now me, I like to treat dogs as if they're family because guess what? They are indeed family. And when I eat dinner, I like a little flavor. So today we're gonna be using oregano. I have 3 ingredients, but of course when we're using our herbs, make sure they're organic, always organic, because you wanna make sure you know everything that you're placing into your dog's system, right? Now, I do this to taste, so just kind of like you're cooking at home. You can do a teaspoon if you want exact measurements, or you can just do it to eye level depending on how you cook, right? And then last, we're gonna add that oil, remember, for that coat shine. So in order to do that, we're gonna take a 1/4 cup of the oil, put it right in there, and we place that 1/4 cup right into your mixture. So 1 pound of meat, 3 cups of breading, 1/4 cup of your oil, and voila, right? So when we come to that KitchenAid mixer, we're gonna use our dough attachment because this is like breading, right? So make sure it's the dough attachment, attach it right here. Stick your bowl right back on in there. Put it down, lock it into place, and begin to blend this. You can take a spoon. You know, my KitchenAid that I have here is not necessarily the largest one. Some of us have more industrial sizes. If you have an industrial size, of course, that makes it a lot easier. If you don't, you can always have a spoon on hand just in case you need to push some of the food down. Once we get this going, kick up the speed a little. Lovely. Just that quick, everyone. We have our first mixture and batter together and ready to go. Comes out looking just like this, very easy, right? And we're gonna take that right over to our baking sheet, pour that right on in. Look at that breading, lovely, right? So now, this is just where we get a little dirty, right? We take our hand and we spread this out because we're gonna coat this pan, bring this down, and we're gonna make our mixture. Now I have a large pan. The reason I do that is because, you know, we've got multiple pregnant girls and we have to make quite a large size. So now that I showed you the mixture, we're just gonna do this again 3 times until I fill the coating of this full pan, and we'll put it right back in the oven. So simply we know 1 pound of meat, again, 3 cups of your breading. Quickly, right? This time I used oregano the first time, but let's give them a different flavor. We're gonna go with rosemary. Lovely, right? That is very safe for dogs. Pinch of rosemary in there. And then a 1/4 cup of our oil. Now that you know it's a 1/4 cup, I'll show you how I really do it when you're not looking. I just use a dash of that oil because I like to cook the way that my parents taught me how to cook, and that's from the soul. I cook for my dogs the same way I cook for my family. Right back on, close it down. Start off slow. If you start too high, your KitchenAid is going to start shooting food out of your bowl, especially when you have this particular size. Start off slow to give your meat and your breading opportunity to kind of mix together. Okay? Then kick up that speed. And look how quickly we're moving, guys. We are cooking. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, pop that on off just like the last one. Dump that right onto your pan. And you have your next meatloaf cake ready to go. Now this is what I use when I'm moving quickly, of course, because when you're feeding multiple pregnant girls, like right now, we've got multiple females on the ground and they are pregnant and they have given birth. I don't necessarily have 2 hours, you know, to do this, so I've got to move quickly. And so this is the fast version. We have the neat version, which is our balls if you want to use that, but this is the quick version. All right, so we'll do that again. Once we have this last go, this will completely fill up our pan. All right, there we go. Get that last bit out of there. 3 cups, dashes of our seasoning, and this will complete our first pan, guys. and we'll get this right into the oven. It's just this simple. You see, if you mix those ingredients together, it saves you time. If you're fumbling around with 6 different bags and scooping every one each time, you're gonna be at this quite some time. You don't wanna waste time like that. So once we got this going, guys, this will be our last pan of this one, and we'll get it right in that oven on 350 degrees. We're gonna cook that for 30 to 35 minutes on your preference. I prefer 30, but if you want it a little well done, 35, I like to retain some of the moisture, so I keep it at 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Excuse me, 30 minutes while cooking at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Perfect. All right, drop that last one in, guys. And here we are. We have a full sheet ready to go. Spread that out. Cover that whole pan up. Take your time, get it nice and neat in there. There's nothing, by the way, I can't express to you guys how much I love Munster dog food. I've been going through so many brands over the years. If you name it, I've tried it, and I have fallen in love with this brand of dog food because it just keeps my dog's system in perfect condition, and I just can't compliment them enough. Their customer service is excellent, and I wouldn't be saying this just to say it. I'm saying it because it works. You know, I like to save everyone money, and I've been doing this for many, many years, and this is a way to do it. So now we've got this full sheet. We'll slide this right in the oven. 350, top rack. Let that bake for 30 minutes. I have an Alexa here, so I'll set a timer. Alexa, timer for 30 minutes, please.
30 minutes, starting now.
Lovely, you can't miss it, right? So 30 minutes, we've got that right in the oven, and we'll come right back to that. We'll pop that right on out, let it cool for about 10 minutes, and then your girls will be set to go. So, of course, we don't want to burn our hands, right? We have oven mitts, whatever you have in your house that works. I use these, I absolutely love them. So I'm gonna pull this out, and I'm gonna show you. Reach on in that oven, right? Let's slide this on out. And here we are. Here are our brownies. Now I'm gonna cut these, right? And I think what's so important while cutting these, please do not use any sharp objects on these brownies. I use a silicone knife, right? So I'm not going to cut this while it's hot. We're gonna let it cool down. Give it probably about 20 to 30 minutes to come to resting or room temperature. Once it's at room temperature, you come with your silicone knife. Cut these in little squares. I like to vacuum seal them and freeze them if you're not gonna get to them immediately, right? That way they keep their shelf life. And if you're gonna use it quickly, of course, just cut it and put it into your dog bowl. And we have the perfect pregnancy meal for your girls that will get her milk flowing and keep your puppies full, happy, and wonderful. Thank you for joining me.